Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was. Look again.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston.
I am thinking about how everybody thinks what's going on right now is what always goes on, you know? It's just more stories, it's more content. Nope. And they know that. They know that you think that this is same as it ever was. You know, the election cycle and blah, blah. Trump built a golden statue of himself. Trump built a massive ballroom with money from the richest tech people on earth. Trump is the last president because America is over. And the way we can gauge what's going to happen every single year is based off the cover of The Economist magazine, which is owned by the same generationally wealthy assholes that rape children, abduct kids, steal all your money, start all the wars. And their magazine, it was the easiest cover ever, because usually they assemble it like a puzzle. This one, not so much. It straight up shows the earth crawling with vaccines and robotic dogs and satellites shooting lasers from the sky. Law and order crumbling. This is the New World Order. We've never been here before, but we're here now. And people do not get it. They are not acting appropriately. I'm making moves right now to find out where I'm gonna try to be, geographically speaking, in the next 30 days. Because I said 2 weeks ago that in a week things would be worse. And then I said last week, in a week, things would be worse. And they are. They're jacking up the price of gasoline while Trump is placating his people, because you got to try to keep them happy a little bit, you know? When you publicly go out there and say, I don't care about the Americans' financial situation.
Go ahead. When you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that motivates.
All I care about is a nuclear weapon in Iran. Well, here's the fun part. Before Trump became president, Iran was not a nuclear threat. After Trump became president, Iran was not a nuclear threat. After Trump just suddenly attacked Iran, they claimed they had completely negated Iran's ability to be a nuclear threat. Even though Iran was never a nuclear threat in any way whatsoever at all. They signed the non-proliferation treaty. Israel didn't. They allowed inspectors in. Trump, the White House, June 12th, 2025, posted on whitehouse.gov that Iran's nuclear capability has been obliterated. Their word. Anybody saying otherwise is fake news. And then 6 months later, they start bombing Iran. And when you go after a place like Iran that actually has the Straits of Hormuz as part of their geological layout, if you're gonna fuck around, you better find out how to secure the straits, then drop the bombs. It's not what he did, because it's not what they're doing. They're slowly crippling America. Donald Trump is now $4 to $6 billion richer than he was when he was inaugurated this year. I'm sorry, last year. How do you do that? How does that happen? How is that not a crime? Because nothing's a crime unless you're a civilian. The Epstein files didn't make Trump go to Iran. The Epstein files made sure that nobody would say a word once he did. Because there's still over 3 million pages, I'm sure, of every representative, everybody in power, raping a child, having sex with another man, doing a ritual sacrifice of some sort, because that's what they do. It's exactly what they do. And if you don't know that yet, you're the reason this is being allowed to happen. They're pulling another hoax. Exactly just like they showed us on the Economist magazine cover. They're gonna pull another hoax. And exactly like last time, I'm going to ignore it. 100%. I haven't been sick since 2019, maybe 2018. Okay? Relabeling everything people die of as COVID, exactly like they basically told us from the White House podium, doesn't make it a disease. It makes it nothing. The fact that they're going to do this again, it's not the only thing. There will be a false flag attack. My money is on the U.S. bank in Los Angeles that Larry Silverstein just bought a few months ago. Because even though we know about it, even though we've spread that information, they'll still do it. They don't care. They own the media. They'll just crush the news. You know, people started figuring out that the Butler shooting wasn't exactly right. It wasn't a shooting at all. It was no type of a shooting. Trump pierced his right ear in front of everybody publicly, showing his allegiance to his Zionist handlers.
The current non-Jewish Messiah was chosen to be of service to the Jewish people and the Jewish Messiah. President Trump's right ear was grazed in a symbolic gesture of Exodus 21:6, where the Torah states that a servant who wants to remain with his master needs to have his right ear pierced. Trump was designated as God's servant and anointed one, just like Cyrus the Great almost 2,400 years ago. We have clarified in several videos that the absolute deadline for the redemption is by the end of the Jewish year 5787, which corresponds to October 2nd, 2027. Thus, the redemption will surely occur during Donald Trump's tenure.
And I got that straight from 3 rabbis. When people started figuring out that that was fake, they recently staged another one at the correspondence dinner that was so pathetic and weak. Some of us have been shot. We know what it looks like. We know what it feels like. A guy running up to another guy, running as fast as he can with a 12 gauge, doesn't blast the guy from 2 feet away, and the guy just turns a little bit and returns fire poorly. Secret Service guys don't all open fire on one dude and not hit him at all. Yeah. But here's the thing, and I need to stress this. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you believe. But if you're listening to my voice, you better start making preparations right this minute. Because this summer, it's all going to come to a shuddering end. An alien invasion doesn't just mean we're going to see holographic spaceships in the sky. It doesn't mean we're going to see black technology presented as alien technology. They're going to blow shit up. People are going to get severely injured. It's going to be a mass depopulation event, which is something that's been on their list for a long time. And they've been at it. They managed to get us to stop procreating. The one thing God tells you to do. Look at all the turtles. Couple turtles. Never forget how amazing this entire place is. Not one thing used to be something else, and it slowly evolved. That's a lie told to you by the same people that lie about everything. And they're openly lying. Because they can't say they didn't warn you. They're warning you every which way there is. Never once in history has a civilization built a golden statue to their leader and not have something catastrophic occur. Well, Trump built himself a statue. Pastors are out there praising it, preaching it, being filmed with it, you know. You need to start preparing right this moment. Everything will change. If you live far away from everything else, stay there. Gather up all the gasoline you possibly can now if you require it, or diesel. Get as many dry food products as you possibly can. Rice, pinto beans, anything that can last for a long time without being frozen or refrigerated. It doesn't mean throw away your refrigerator and freezer, but none of this would be complete if they didn't knock out the power, which they can easily do. Easily. Only country in the world spends all this money on defense when all we're doing is attacking. I felt for it for a long time. But the United States, we are a terrorist country. I denounced the oath that I took to the United States military. And sadly, I no longer believe in our flag. And to me, that's a big deal. I've cried tears because of the American flag in this lifetime. I know a lot of people that have the money, the means, and the motivation to be making proper moves right now for their families, because you're getting your warning now. Every single solitary thing they do is telling you, we don't care. And we don't care if you know. You know what I'm saying? They just don't care. They're doing this. Trump has made $4 to $6 billion in the last 16 months as president of the United States. Yeah, that seems normal. That seems natural. But like Trump said, when the price of oil goes up, we all make money.
Mr. Secretary, while you're funneling billions into these vanity projects, gas is up by an average of $1.40 a gallon from last year. In March, President Trump posted this message. He said, the United States is the largest oil producer in the world by far, so when oil prices go up, we make a lot of money. Who's the we?
Well, it could be states, the federal government, the American people. When we collect royalty rates on oil production on federal lands, and so if prices are higher, then there's more revenue coming into the system.
So this is good for American families that they're paying $1.40 more a gallon for gas?
I'm not saying that, but I'm thrilled that they're paying. I'm thrilled that they're paying about $1 less than they were during the Biden administration. I mean, that's exciting, and these prices are going to drop quickly again because now we actually have supply. You know, prices are determined based on supply.
Again, there's a real disconnect here. Americans are not celebrating this spike in gas prices that you seem to think is just great, and your only answer is to hearken back to the depths of the pandemic.
It wasn't the depth of the pandemic. It was just a year ago, and it was a series. It was a series of energy subtraction.
Americans
policies.
are paying $1.40 more a gallon, and there's no end in sight to this energy crisis created by the war in Iran. They're the ones who can't afford to keep the lights on and put food on the table. But the we that's making a lot more money are let's be honest about it. It's the big oil billionaires.
Oh, who's we? He ain't talking to you. He ain't talking to me. I can only imagine somebody's sitting out here in a tent going, who the hell is that guy yelling at? Whatever. A lot of my people are down here. Surprised I haven't seen a helicopter yet today. They'll come. They always come. Military helicopter just went over me. Helicopter is right over me. Totally coincidental every time. That is strange. And notice the incredibly long antenna in the front of his chopper. This is crazy. This happens constantly. And it has for a couple of years now. And here comes a helicopter again. Over me. Not close by, not near. Over me, do you not see that? People go to the shiny new truthers, forgetting how the truth community started. They go to the new people. The new people that get millions of views, but they're telling the truth. Millions of views, self-censoring with ads. If you're self-censoring, your main concern is not getting demonetized, because you can swear all you want. You can say whatever you want in a video. You know what I mean? But it shows what the intent is. Are you trying to spread the truth because it's the most important thing on earth? Or are you trying to get paid using a hot topic that a lot of people know some stuff about, you know? It's crazy, man. It's crazy watching this. They took us all out and replaced us with people like Nick Fuentes. What's the other guy? The asshole Ben Shapiro. Think that guy's telling you something? Think Tucker Carlson, now that he stopped wearing his red string, showing his allegiance to the Kabbalah, the fact that he actually went on missions with his father who was in the CIA, his words, not mine. Ooh. Think he's suddenly waking up? Think Russell Brand telling you that he was sleeping with minors when he was 30 is somehow a Christian? People post memes all day, every day on Facebook. Not one of them says, drop whatever you're doing right now and prepare. Because when the event occurs, very, very soon, you ain't gonna have time. I've been telling you exactly what's going on. Shoot, man. For a year now, since my main channels came back. And I never stopped in the first place. I posted on BitChute, I posted on Rumble, I posted on Odyssey. All extreme pain in the ass jobs to do, especially when you're mobile from a vehicle out in the middle of nowhere. But I did it. And I did it because if you know the truth and you know God and you don't do every single solitary thing you can to spread what you know and spread the word of God the best of your ability, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're being suckered. You're being played. You know what I mean? True Stream Media, 600,000 subscribers. Well, we can't do any videos. We're just making a movie right now. What are you talking about, making a movie? You making a movie thinking that A, it's actually a movie when it's just a video? And B, thinking we got all the time in the world? Economist 2026 tells you everything you need to know. And it shows America getting hit. And America can get hit right now because what our Constitution warned us about, you know, the thing the government never ever talks about, the Constitution was to protect us from enemies, both foreign and domestic. That would be every single solitary person in power right now. Maybe there's a good one here and there, but I can't see how there could be, because they're all just in there doing a huge cash grab. America is going to be a barren wasteland covered with data centers and fire. Babylon the Great. Oh, how she's fallen in the wink of an eye. Ooh, careful. Ooh. These people with all their special effects. I can edit, I can do special effects. But is that what you're here for? Entertainment? I'm talking more sense. Well, doing 18 miles an hour through the woods on a bicycle at 58 years old than most people will do an entire month. Posting other people's information and then saying a couple of words after it doesn't make you awake. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. Even Jailbreak shadow banned. I got hyped with 80,000 points, which I think is pretty good, yeah? Didn't even make it to 10,000 views. That's pathetic. That is pathetic. But here's the thing. That video was straight truth. Straight truth. After the event, after the pandemic, after I'm no longer alive, you know, next few months or so, all the people that bend over and acquiesce to the beast system will be driving around in cars that only let you go so far because of your carbon footprint, even though they are building carbon. I mean, they just lied in your face. Agenda 2030 is based on carbon footprint, period. And very quietly, until Trump became president again, they were putting up data centers absolutely everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And data centers create carbon dioxide, believe it or not. Isn't that crazy? Ooh, go, 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 go. Got it. Yeah, I'm going hard. I'm happy. Whew. But anybody with a brain could figure out that Trump was a Trojan horse. You know what I mean? If you can't figure it out now, well then whatever. You do not have any discernment, and God does not smile on you, I guess. I guess. Because these guys have gone out of their way to show us what they're doing, to show us that they are lying, to show us that they are profiting immeasurably. Trump made more billions of dollars as president than before he was president. How do you make all that money? He's more than doubled his billions being president while putting our country in unbelievable debt. All while gay, murderous men married to other men are tricking the entire country into thinking that AI is going to save the world. It's going to cure cancer. Cancer isn't something to be cured. Cancer is the result of a poisoning that we've been experiencing since probably the 60s, maybe the 50s. I don't know, I wasn't there. Cancer isn't a thing. It's a result. It's an outcome. It's a consequence. It's a consequence of eating everything out of microwaved plastic food. You know what I mean? I haven't turned on a television in, I believe it's 10 years now. I haven't turned on a microwave in longer. Maybe it's 11, I don't know. I don't know. When my father's wife discovered I didn't have a television, she looked at me like I was a furry, you know, or like I just married a man. How could you not have a television? Because their entire life revolves around the television. It's all they do. It's all they care about. It's a sad state of affairs. And it hurts me. But there is no warning, there's no talking. There's no more time. So I just pray to God that He decides it's okay. I never talked about conspiratorial things with my Nana when she was alive. Because if you recall, I live in the house that I live in now because I dropped everything and moved in with my Nana. I mean, I was in perfect shape. I was massive. I was incline benching 435 pounds with no steroids whatsoever at all. Flat benching 400. That's 8 wheels, man. That's no joke. That's gangster. I moved in with my Nana. You know how that affects your dating life? So what do you do? Well, I own my own company. Really? Where do you live? I live in Nahant. Is it your house? No, I live with my Nana. Oh, you live with your Nana, you say? Yeah. You know what I mean? But I still did it because nobody else would. I told Nana 2 things. I took her outside one time because she wasn't really physically mobile all that well. That was the problem, which is why I moved in, so they didn't have to put her in a home. None of her master's degree or professor children would move in. So I did. And I did great. I showed her the chemtrails. And way back then I was calling him the toothpaste guy. Because the chemtrails were just these big, thick things that squiggled through the air. They looked like toothpaste. And then one day I did tell her, Nana, if aliens ever show up, don't believe it. Because they're demons. And she went, that's nice, dear. And I find that really strange that I just brought that story up. And that's exactly where we are right now. These data centers are to hold open and stabilize portals. And men's hearts will fail from fear with what comes on this earth. That's what data centers are for. It's the only thing that makes sense. You don't build something that's AI, which is a computer according to them. You don't build something and then build 62 square miles of data centers in one building in Utah. And what's in Utah? Well, if you ask me, Utah, the Grand Canyon, all those areas around there is probably where the waters came forth. The waters came from heaven, and the waters came from below. Why do you think everything out in the desert is covered with petroglyphs that show regular people, spirals, which mean portals, and then large horned people? Everything out in Utah is named devil's this, devil's that. So it would stand to reason that there was a massive 2.5 times bigger than Manhattan data center going right there. And if they did whack Charlie Kirk, and if Charlie Kirk really was trying to do the right thing, we'll never know, and really was waking up, them executing him right in Utah, it all ties together. But here's the fun part. I ain't got time to go down that hole. They have set so many distractions in motion, it's insane. And everybody's gone for them because a video about Charlie Kirk, woo, that'll get you the views. Let me tell you a secret. I've been doing this a long time. If you've been with me a long time, Richie from Boston could pull 150, 500,000 views per video, no problem. Did it all the time. 50,000 views, I'd be embarrassed. Sometimes I'd pull the video down. Imagine that, vanity. But I don't do videos on topics like that. I do what I think's important. Because I'm not doing this for money. This is my redemption. This is what I'm here for. This is what God created me for. Because otherwise, my life makes no sense at all. Whatsoever at all. Single by choice. Who does that? Who does that? You know how many Christian groupies I have? You know how many women? God led me to you. Here's my boobs. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. Happens still. And I say no. You know what I mean? I never had children. Because I always knew this world was going to be worse later than it was then. But I also did not want to raise kids because I had no clue how to do that. When you're a child, you learn love from somebody. Your mother, your father, your aunt. Well, my father was at work because he hated my mother and he was sleeping with my incredibly young at the time stepmother. So that gave my mother plenty to be mad about. And my mother was no joke. She'd punch you in the face. Instead of me getting love from a family member or a next door neighbor or, you know, someone that stepped in, I was just trapped in the house. Afraid to go to the bathroom in my own house as a child. I would pee in my winter boots and throw it out the window at night. And most days I didn't eat. So I didn't know what love was, man. I really don't. Any empathy I have is built right in. I've always helped an injured animal. I've always stopped and helped a turtle cross the road. Somebody already hit him once. Oh, come on, man. Son of a bitch. Look at the base on him. Wow. He is beautiful. Wow. This is a land turtle. This is a terrapin. Just put him over here by the wood line, which is where I'm guessing he wants to go. And I say all that to say, all of that made me able to be alone for incredibly long periods of time. I prefer to be alone, but when I'm around others, I'm good, you know, depending on who they are and what they're talking about. But I have zero tolerance for people that are stuck in the system. I just do. So, I have no kids that they can hold against me. Get your vaccine or your kids can't, you know. All the people that mattered to me died. So, you want to keep listening to other channels that are self-censoring? Well, they're self-censoring. You've already given in. So I know you got the shot, and I know you'll do whatever they say, because you're already self-censoring to keep that precious monetization. It's pathetic. It's not my game plan, man.